But like I say, we are now 21 days out and counting. And today, of course, the Amy Coney Barrett hearings began. There was no questioning. It was all just the 22, I believe it was, senators giving opening statements. Some via Zoom because they are afraid of, or I should say concerned, or, I think being responsible is really the question of being in the same room with people who were diagnosed as getting COVID in the Trump super spreader event, and others who have refused to get tested. Now, I don't know if they have refused to get tested and actually not gotten tested, or they just are refusing to concede that they've been tested. We don't know. But I wouldn't go in that room were I a senator. But I also wouldn't go in that room because the hearing should not be happening now. And we had Democratic senators who got up there. I saw some of the opening comments. They ranged from fair to poor, frankly. I didn't see all of them. It's conceivable that there have been some that have been good, but it is very difficult to try and project to the American public that these hearings are a sham if you attend them. That's just a very difficult trick to do. And so, I heard Amy Klobuchar say, call for people who are watching the opening hearings to, contact their Republican senators and put pressure on them and tell them that it is inappropriate what they're doing. But I'm sorry, that's not going to work. There's not a mass amount of Americans who are tuning in to hear the opening statements. If you want to signal to the American public that something is a sham, then you don't participate in it. You have a press conference or you have some type of rally out in front of the Senate building, socially distanced rally, where you say, we're not going to go into that building because what they're doing is a sham. You need to show, not just tell. I'm not going to come on this program and say, this program is completely illegitimate. I do not want you to watch. It just doesn't make sense. And so, I don't know if this is just a failure of politicking, or on some level, if it is a way of the Republicans, the Democrats trying to have their cake and eating it too, insofar as they don't want there to be too much pressure on them to expand the size of the court. That's what this is very much, I think, for a lot of Democratic senators. They don't want the pressure on them to expand the court if Joe Biden wins. They don't want it. Makes sense for Joe Biden not to say anything right now because he doesn't want to alienate his base any more than he already has. A vote for Joe Biden is simply a vote for against Donald Trump for a lot of Democrats and non-affiliated voters, frankly. And so he doesn't want to alienate those people. But at the same time, there's every reason to believe, based upon his history, based upon the people that support him, Chris Coons, that they do not have an intention to expand the size of the court, which is and we'll have that argument in the coming months and weeks probably as to why I think it's a perfectly legitimate thing to do. And it's a necessary thing to do. But they don't want that political pressure. And so they don't want this fight with Amy Coney Barrett they're trying to thread the needle here. They want it to activate people who are concerned about the ACA and concerned about a woman's right to have sovereignty over her own body, as well they should. But they don't want to activate people too much so that they are beholden to actually taking material, legitimate steps in the future to prevent these things from happening. We'll talk more about this. We'll talk more about this as in the coming weeks.